Today I came to talk to Brian with ChildBridge. And so Brian, can you first tell me what ChildBridge is?
ChildBridge is a Christian nonprofit right here in Great Falls, Montana, Montana statewide, that finds and equips foster families for Montana children that have gone through abuse or neglect.
And do we have a big need for foster care in Montana, in Great Falls?
A huge need. Our organization has only been around for a few years, but we keep just exploding because of how big that need is. Right here in Great Falls, we have one of the highest needs per capita in the nation for foster families. We have a lot of children, almost 1,000 in the 14 counties that are around Great Falls, and just not enough homes to provide a safe place for them to be while their families are recovering, or when they find a permanent solution to where they're going to be.
So what are some of the services that ChildBridge offers?
ChildBridge, we go and present to churches to find more families, and then we also support any family that's already doing foster, adoption, or kinship. And then that support looks like resource groups that meet monthly, support groups, and then we have a lot of resources that we are able to send to families to help with training for these children as they go through different behaviors due to their past and the hard things they've been through.
Okay. So if I want to get involved with ChildBridge, what does that look like?
It's really easy, and our philosophy is that not everybody can do foster care. Not everybody's called to do that, but I think we all are called to do something. And so there's a lot of different ways to do that by volunteering. If you really want to be a foster family, I would love that, and you just get a hold of me. But other than that, if you don't want to bring kids into your home or you're a little scared, there's other things we can try to get you prepared for that. There's classes we can have you go to, and meetings that we can do to prepare for that. But if not, there's of course always giving online to help support what we're doing. There's volunteering at some of our different resource groups. And then we have other little things that go on where we prepare packages for families or children. And so there's a lot of ways to help with foster care.
So Brian, have you been fostering?
I've been fostering for a little over 3 years. Actually, the journey for me to ChildBridge started with me and my wife doing foster care all the way up in Glasgow, Montana. And we noticed that we need community. We felt alone, even though we were part of a church and we had our own small groups. I was a youth pastor. We didn't know a lot of foster families, so we started doing what ChildBridge does up in Glasgow. And then we found out about ChildBridge, and we were like, oh my goodness, these guys are doing the same thing we're doing. And so that's, long story short, that's how we ended up at ChildBridge, is because we started doing foster care and realized people really need community around this and need some support. Yeah, we have a resource group that meets monthly at a local church, and that resource group has child care, food, and then training. Each foster family, once they get licensed, has annual training to remain licensed that they need to acquire each year. And so we try to make that easy. They can come bring their kids, eat some food, and then get at least an hour of training every month at our resource groups. But then we have support groups that are a community of foster families that get together that just help encourage each other. Maybe need to vent a little bit, and that also has childcare and some snacks at that as well. And then our support coordinator, my coworker, she also reaches out on a monthly basis just to check in on families and make sure everything's doing okay, and that they know that there's at least somebody else out there thinking of them and on their side. When a child reaches a certain age, we have a hard time finding homes for them. A lot of families, and it's great that we can get a lot of families for about that 10 years or younger. But once you reach about 10 years old, statistically, your chances of finding a family and permanency with them is really hard. So they end up bouncing between families. Some of their behaviors, because they've endured abuse and neglect in their life, their behaviors tend to not be easy to handle, which is why we like to help equip and support families that are going through that. But aging out just means that they don't have a family to attach to. So they're in a group home or they're in an institution as they turn 18 and graduate high school, and then they don't have a family to rely on when they go to their job or anything like that. And so 50% of them end up unemployed. There's a lot of them that end up being single moms or incarcerated. just because they don't have a family to rely on. And as we graduated high school, we wanted to be on our own,
Yeah.
but it was really nice to be able to call mom, or call dad and ask, how do we pay this bill? Or, how do I get my kids immunized? Whatever that may be, like, we never know how to fix those things. And so then we just send these children out once they turn 18, and it's a tough life out there without a family.
So Brian, if I do want to contribute, get involved today, what are the best ways to do that?
We make it as easy as possible. Go to our website. It's easy. The buttons that you need are just right at the top of the page. Of course, there's other things you can navigate and find out about us, but the buttons you need to sign up to be a family or monetarily partner up with us, they're right at the top of the page. You click on those, everything's really simple. We try to make it as easy as possible.
So guys, let's bless Childbridge and Brian and help make Great Falls a better place.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, me too.